Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Right now, police in Southington are hot on the trail of 4 people suspected of robbing a gun shop.
It happened under the cover of darkness early yesterday morning. Fox 61's Matt Karen is in Southington with what we know so far. Matt.
Well, Southington police tell me they are confident that they'll be able to identify and apprehend these suspects who they believe are all under the age of 18. But as for right now, 9 more guns are on the streets and in the hands of suspected criminals.
Unbelievable.
It's pretty crazy.
It was just before 2 a.m. Sunday when the front window of the lock and load gun shop was smashed.
Nowadays, nothing really surprises us, I suppose.
The break-in sounded the shop's alarm system as the store's owners watched remotely through their cameras.
They were able to observe from remote surveillance that they had in the business that they received an alarm activation that the business had been burglarized.
Southington police got there within minutes, but not before the juvenile thieves stole 10 Glock and Sig Sauer brand pistols.
A total of 10 weapons we've identified that have been stolen from the store.
The suspects took off in what's believed to have been a stolen getaway vehicle.
We pursued it at a distance to obviously get some of the information, attempted to stop it. However, for the safety of the public, we didn't, of course, attempt to make get into a pursuit with the vehicle.
Police eventually found that vehicle abandoned near a shopping plaza in Cheshire. 1 stolen gun still inside, but the suspects nowhere to be found.
I wasn't really surprised the way things have been happening lately. People are just smashing and grabbing.
Chip Richter's works right across the street from the gun store. Ironically, for a business that, among other things, sells alarm and security systems, a wise and relatively affordable investment.
It's anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 to protect your home.
The owner of the gun shop declined to speak with Fox 61. The Southington police are now working with federal agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, better known as ATF. Reporting in Southington, Matt Karen, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Thank you, Matt. Developing news now out of New Haven. Police are investigating a homicide near Ferry and Wolcott Streets. Police got to the scene this afternoon after reports of a shooting. We have a news crew on scene. Details are still limited, but we'll bring you more information as soon as we learn it. We're also getting our first look at new video tonight showing the moments a Bridgeport police officer shot a man with a knife. This happened on Thursday. Officers Israel Colon and Daryl Wilson Jr. were responding to a home on Birdseye Street. Police say Officer Colon fired 3 shots when 49-year-old Dale Stevenson came at them with a knife. You see one of them there. Stevenson was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive, but he's facing attempt to commit assault charges.
Warmer weather may bring smiles to many of our faces, but it also brings issues to cities around the state, one of those being illegal street racing. In New Haven, police are continuing to investigate a deadly crash involving a tractor trailer from over the weekend, and they say it might in fact be linked to reports of illegal street racing. Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro joins us in the Elm City with the latest.
Mayor Justin Elliker tells me there is video that does appear to show the car involved in this crash was street racing. Now, this is an issue the city has been working on in different ways. One of those ways on display here. This is Long Wharf Drive, where speed humps have been installed to, as you can see, slow down traffic in this area. These humps also installed in different spots around the city where this issue of illegal street racing has become a problem.
You know, there's a lot of hobbies and interests people have. You should choose a hobby or interest that doesn't really hurt other people, doesn't disrupt other people, doesn't put people at risk. It's very selfish of people to be doing these kind of things.
Now take a look at this. This is the aftermath of that fiery crash Saturday morning. New Haven police responding to Foxon Boulevard and Middletown Avenue. This was around 3:30 a.m. And that is where officers found a black BMW which crashed into the passenger side of a tractor trailer, causing a fire. The driver of that BMW, a 22-year-old from New Britain, was pulled from that vehicle by a Good Samaritan and taken to the hospital, where sadly he was pronounced dead. The driver of the tractor trailer was not injured in this crash. Now, this issue of street racing, one that city leaders are hoping state lawmakers will help with. There was legislation on the table this past session that did not pass, but Mayor Elliker is hoping to push it again next session.
That legislation would have allowed us to put significant fines on people that were caught for street racing, $1,000 for the first instance, $1,500 for the second, and then $2,000 for the third. It would also enable us to have penalties that are worse in line with someone that's caught for a DUI. So suspension of license, and if the person continued to operate, they could even get arrested. And finally, there's a component of that that would have some penalties for bystanders as well.
New Haven police are still investigating that crash from over the weekend, and they say if a link is made between that crash and illegal street racing, they will be looking to make arrests of anybody involved. Reporting in New Haven, I'm Angelo Bavar, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
A Bristol school principal is on administrative leave tonight amid an investigation. In a statement, Bristol's acting superintendent says, quote, the Bristol Public Schools were recently made aware of alleged state testing irregularities at Ivy Drive School. We take these allegations very seriously and have reported such allegations to the State Department of Education. The acting superintendent says they will announce an interim principal as the investigation continues.
Meanwhile, the Israeli army continues its strikes on northern Gaza. Hundreds of Palestinians who live in refugee camps there are reported dead, leaving others unsure of where to go. Student protests are coming to a head in the states, especially with graduations happening. Organizers at Wesleyan University began decamping yesterday after coming to an agreement with school leadership. University trustees disclosed investments in military defense companies and Israeli companies. They've also committed to voting on student divestment proposals in the fall.
Yale students walking out of their graduation ceremony today with many staff members joining them. Take a look. All in protest against their campus's investment in weapons manufacturing and Israeli companies. There was a large announced police presence. Since the fall, the school has seen a growing movement for conversion and corporate conversation, and corporate responsibility when it comes to the ongoing war in Gaza. And over the past month, students and staff alike have led daily teach-ins, an encampment, even a hunger strike. Gathering on the New Haven Green before graduation this morning, organizers chanting there can be no celebration during genocide.
Feels like summer out there, and the trend will continue.
Just looking forward to more. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach?
Yeah, we've had a couple of warm teasers, summer-like days here and there, but to string them together, I think this will be the warmest period that we've seen so far this season, so far this year, with highs in the 80s inland, and some areas like Windsor Locks could even approach 90 degrees later this week. But I do want to stress it will be cooler each day at the shoreline. Highs will only be in the 70s, but we're still looking at above average temperatures all across the state this week. 75 for the Hartford area and New Haven. We're in the mid 60s. We've got blue skies, some wispy clouds, and we will see more clouds as we head towards daybreak tomorrow, but they'll give way, revealing plenty of sun. We're even now seeing a big difference in temperatures across the state. So this is what will be ahead as we head through the coming days. It's 20 degrees cooler in Groton than it is for Windsor Locks right now, which is at 81, 71 right now in Meriden. And again, I mentioned we'll see an increase in clouds out there, but no issues if you want to fire up the grill this evening. We brought back the grill cast because this is the kind of weather that you just want to get outside and enjoy. Here's a look at temperatures tonight. By the news at 10, we're looking at numbers sliding back through the 60s, and we're thinking 50s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Any early clouds break for sunshine. Highs in the low to mid 80s inland, but low to mid 70s for the shoreline. So you will notice a difference there, and it gets even warmer for Tuesday and for Wednesday, I should say. We'll show you the numbers coming up.
Well, since the 2024 legislative session ended a week and a half ago, Governor Ned Lamont has signed 20 new bills into law.
Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolforce joins us now in studio with a recap of what's passed the governor's desk so far. Emma.
Sarah, Brent, while not much made it through this legislature in the short session, Governor Lamont still signing quite a few bills into law, including new measures establishing a fallen officer fund and banning dog racing. So let's take a look at some of the bills that have gotten the governor's signature. A big focus of the 2024 session, public safety and law enforcement. Governor Lamont signed a new law creating a fallen officer fund to give the families of Connecticut local and state police officers killed in the line of duty up to $100,000 tax-free. The legislation also allows these families to retain the fallen officers' health insurance coverage for up to 5 years.
This bill is just one way that we can say to you, we've got your back, and to your families, if there's a tragedy, we've got their back.
Lamont also approved a new measure clarifying under which circumstances an officer can pause body-worn recording equipment. Starting October 1st, the state's guidelines and police training programs must include details on when officers may or may not pause recording or mute body cameras.
I brought this forward to kind of really look at, why and when is it okay for that to happen. I would have previous to this, I would have thought, I didn't know that they could even be muted.
Some new animal considerations passed this session, too. The governor signed a bill broadening current protections for guide or assistance dogs by replacing references to guide dogs or assistant dogs with the federal definition for service animals. Lamont also moved to officially ban dog racing in Connecticut, although there hasn't been an active dog track in the state since 2006. And many bills passed this session are still waiting for the governor's signature. You can find more information, though, about those already approved, which we talked about, on our website soon at fox61.com. Sarah, Brent.
All right, Emma, thank you. And new here at 6, local lawmakers pushing to address diaper insecurity here in Connecticut. The Diaper Bank of Connecticut and the Connecticut Hospital Association are pushing for more support and funding for their Diaper Connections program. The program screens for diaper needs at local hospitals and provides diapers to families in need. Diaper Connections has distributed more than 2 million diapers to 2,000 kids since the program began in 2022.